13th, 2022 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chairman, and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
Please raise your right hand if you plan to speak. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Like most of our meetings, we will be taking some cases out of order. Our first case, for your reference, is the last case on your agenda, number 22-5275. That's our first one. And then our second case will be case number 2 on your agenda, 21-6827. Before we get started, we do have a couple of other things to take care of. First is the approval of the minutes. Have all the board members received a copy of the minutes for March 9, 2022? Any additions, revisions?
I move to approve.
Move to approve. Do we have a second? Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Okay, next is ex parte communications. Aye. You got I don't have my script for ex parte communications. You have a copy? That also is supposed to stay in the book. It ran off with the calendar.
You did, and ran off.
All right, I'll wing it. So next is our ex parte communications. If anybody on the board has received either written or oral ex parte communications, now is the time to let us know. Yes, sir.
Just add in, it would be concerning any of the matters coming before the board this evening.
That's correct, for those items not coming before the board tonight. If you received written ex parte communications, please let us know the when, where, and from whom, and how you got the communication, whether it was a written letter or email. If it was verbal, let us know when, with whom, and the substance of those communications. Starting with you, Gina, any ex parte communications?
Nope. I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none. None.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the first case.
Do you want me to read it into the record? Do I need to read it into the record?
Yeah, go ahead and read it in, and then we'll.
Case number 225275, City versus Discount Auto Parts LLC for the property located at 9386 North 56th Street. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 857B2, Fire Safety Extinguisher Inspection. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Fire Inspector Cletus Squires. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, before we start on this one, when we reviewed the notice of violation, there was a couple of concerns regarding, making it clear what the violation was and what the corrective action was. If someone had shown up today on behalf of this, we would have talked to them, make sure they understood and possibly moved forward. But since they are not here, the city's not comfortable moving forward with this case tonight. We'd like to correct those,
Okay, so are you gonna pull it or postpone it to a date?
we'd like to continue it for 1 month.
Okay, very good. Do we need a motion for that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if anybody's ready to, I'm prepared to hear a motion.
Okay,
Very simple, just case number and
Yep.
postpone 1 month.
yeah, in case number 22-5275, I move that the board postpone the hearing of this case until next month.
Why don't you give a date certain?
Okay, until next month, May 11th, 2022.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays. See you next month. Thank you. Okay, next case,
Case number 216827, City versus Patricia Jones Lewis and Dewan Dane Lewis for the property located at 810 Ben Lamont Drive. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by Community Development on December 11th, 2021 for exterior renovation work being done without a permit. A notice of violation was prepared on that date with a reinspection date of December 23rd, 2021. Posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the address of the owner of record. In following up with Community Development, I was informed that the site was in plan review. After 2 months, when Community Development had not received additional information to complete the site plan review process, I was directed to proceed with a notice of hearing, which was prepared on March 22nd, 2022, and the case was scheduled for the April Municipal Code Board meeting. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on December 11th, 2021.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting, and exhibit number 2 is a screenshot of the stop work order. The building inspector is here and available to answer any questions. At this time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Building inspector, you want coming up and elaborate a little bit on how many permits and what for? Thank you.
Hi, Cheryl Bennett, Building Inspector. The homeowner has attempted to repair a second floor deck and the stairs that go to it, and he would just need the architectural plans and one permit, the building permit.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any questions for the building inspector? See none, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Is the respondent here? If you'd like to say something, come on up, state your name and address for the record, please.
Name is Dewan Lewis, and this is Patricia Lewis.
Patricia Jones Lewis.
Have you both been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great, thank you.
As Ms. Bennett just said that a deck was being renovated. When we purchased the house, the deck was already there. Deck was in disrepair and was compromising the safety of my family, and I decided to make the necessary changes to it. As I started, I recognized that more things were not,
Falling apart.
they were falling apart. And I decided to do the work myself. I wasn't aware that I needed a permit. When Ms. Bennett told us that we needed a permit, she said it has to be done by an engineer. When that notice was served, I came to the office here to apply for a permit because she told me that I needed a permit. I said I wasn't aware that I needed a permit. So I came and applied for a permit. The permit was denied. I tried to get an engineer to come over and give me a diagram for this deck. I was unable to for a while because most companies says that they don't deal with small jobs, and it took me a while before I finally got someone on think it was January 31st or somewhere there, I got someone, or it was December,
24th.
January 24th. They gave me a date that they would come over to look at this deck, and they showed up February
14th.
14th. Since February 14th, I got this diagram on Monday. I have been calling them every week, twice a week, and they've been telling me that the engineer is not in office.
We have the dates of all the updates, all the calls, the payments, everything, if you'd like.
It's not, we have heard this from a lot of people, so we believe you, okay?
Everyone's waiting,
Everybody's waiting, yeah.
And I pretty much almost had to have a fist fight over the phone with the lady saying, look, I have to go in front of the board, and if I have nothing to present to them, then okay.
Okay, so you got something Monday, that did you bring it down to, and submit it to get the application reviewed?
Well, I
No,
thought I had to
we
bring it
thought-
here.
Oh, no,
So-
you gotta submit it to the building department,
Okay,
so that they can review it and give you a permit. We don't give permits here,
okay,
okay?
understood.
No, but we thought we
We-
had
we-
to show up
we-
here first
What?
with the
Right.
documents before applying.
Well, it's both, and actually, you could have saved yourself a couple of days in plan review if you had brought it down Monday, but it's neither here nor there now. So you have it, you're ready to submit it,
Yes.
okay? And, is there anything you're looking for from us?
I know, we don't even know.
We
what
don't-
were
You don't even know?
We don't know what to expect.
Okay.
Like I said, I wasn't aware that we needed a permit to renovate an existing deck.
Okay.
So we wanted to bring
So-
copies of all the times that we called, every time that we spoke,
No, we believe you.
different dates, it's all here.
We believe you, we believe you. I know, it's, like I said, you're not the first person to come with us and have the same tale. So we believe you. We know it's difficult to get engineers to look at something like that. We also know that you do need a permit, so. What'll happen next is this board will decide whether or not you were in violation, and will give you X number of days to bring the project back into compliance, which means getting the permit. You don't have to have the work done, but you'll have to get, the violation is the permit, not the work.
Like I said, if I was aware I needed a permit before I
Yeah, we
started, I
understand.
wouldn't even touch it. I would have just.
we understand.
done it, But I wasn't aware that, because it
We
wasn't
under-
existing
we-
then.
We understand. So if there's any questions for the respondent? You can have a seat for, go ahead.
Did you do, how far you've been done on the job? Is it complete, is it?
It's pretty much complete, other than things that Ms. Bennett, pointed out to me, and
Yeah, they're mainly the same things that they talked about.
the person who came over to take a look at the diagram asked the engineer if I did the work myself. I told him yes. He said I did an excellent job thus far. So
He wanted to hire
he,
me.
he wanted to hire me. He said, "You have a pickup truck?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You can report to work Monday morning." I said, "No."
You think you'll get the permit within a month?
I'm ready to present these diagrams. So as soon as
When can you drop it off the city hall? The permit?
Next day?
I could try to drop it off tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Friday we're closed.
Okay.
So just do it if you can tomorrow,
Good Friday.
and then it goes under review. And then, is that okay?
Yes.
And it,
Okay, any other questions?
well, just to continue with that conversation, so should there be any, normally would there be any issue with them getting it approved within a month?
No, it should be approved within 30 days, and then once you get the permit, you're good to go.
I have this application, it'll probably be 2 or 3 days, if that's an engineered plan.
It is.
Okay, there you go.
I have a number of copies.
Perfect. You can have a seat, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
In case number 216827, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violation of the city Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 810 Ben Lamdon Drive, with the applicable code, section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1, permits application required. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Douglas Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before May 11th, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So you have, as of right now, you have been found to be in violation, but you have until May 11th to cure that, which means getting the permit. If for any reason you don't get a permit by May 11th, you'll need to come back to our hearing on May 11th and let us know why. And then there's a possibility that we may give you an extension, depending on the whys. Okay? But you're not required to stay if you don't want to. You can stay the whole night if you want to hear the rest of them, but you're welcome to take your son home and enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay? Next case.
Next case, so we are gonna jump down to unfinished business and go to the first case, case number 21-1856, City versus Alma Aponte for the property located at 101 Deer Park Avenue. The extended deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. The respondent is here.
Tell us some good news.
Hello, my name is Adrian Aponte, resident at 101 Deer Park Avenue. Last that we talked, there was a civil law or a civil suit that was filed. When we looked at the statute, they gave them 60 days. I think when they filed it was February 20th.
Hang on a second. Can you close that door? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just hold on just a second.
So I believe the last date they filed it was February 20th. I think I had turned it in. When y'all looked up the statute, it said 60 days for them to answer. So 60 days is actually coming up in the next few days. When talking with my representative at the company, he says that usually, pretty much what he's telling me is the insurance company's trying to wait me out. They have the 60 days to respond. If they don't respond in 60 days, they have another thing that they have to go through. So
You haven't heard anything new?
nothing new.
Okay.
That's kind of my area. They got a couple days to answer. Every time I talk to them,
Looking for another 30-day extension? Looking for another 30-day extension?
pretty much.
Does the city have any issue with that?
No, I think we should wait out. We waited this long.
Okay.
I try to keep up with the tarps. I try to make sure they're not falling apart. I tried to, if we had a dry season, I'd take them down.
Understood. Okay, so I will entertain a motion if there's no further questions.
I'll go ahead and I'll make one.
Okay,
In case number 21-1856, I move that we postpone this again until May 11th, 2022.
motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? See you next month. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
We just had someone new walk in.
We're gonna stay under unfinished business.
Does he need to get sworn in first?
We will have to swear
Okay.
him in.
Which case number?
21-6306.
Okay,
So that is, case number 21-6306, City versus Nihad Darwish for the property located at 6319 East 113th Avenue. Extended deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight, and I'll just need to swear you in. Yeah, we can do it at the podium. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
state your name and address for the record, please.
Salim Khan, 6319 East 113th Ave.
Thank you.
Tampa, Florida.
The floor is yours.
All right, obviously been down this road. So we came to ask for extension, but not extension for the architect. We're just gonna hire a full contractor.
Why don't you, I don't I don't recall exactly what. the
Oh,
case
okay,
is about,
obviously you have
bring
so
us
many
up- bring
cases.
us up to
We
speed.
were asking for extension because our architect, we were doing owner pool permit, and we had just put in some drawings.
Let's back up again. What permits were you?
We needed plumbing, electrical for
For renovation?
renovation.
Okay. And where are you?
We were at the drawings when we came the last time.
Okay.
He's been taking so long, so we decided that he can eat the money that we already paid, and we're just gonna hire contractors. So we started doing bids this week, that contractors are coming in and giving us a quote to do everything and take over the drawings also, because, I mean, we've been getting like little material delivered here and there, like baseboards and stuff like that, and then, like, it's been an issue, so I told Nihad, I'm like, hey, we should just hire a contractor, because we don't know when this guy's gonna finish with the drawings.
Basically, you're starting over.
Exactly, but with starting over, at least we have them covered with everything. They're gonna include the electrical, the plumbing, the contractor, and the drawings.
Do you think, well, it doesn't matter, but when do you anticipate getting some new drawings?
These guys said their guys take 2 weeks, so they're saying that they can start getting the permit started within, like, by the end of the month or the beginning of next month, so.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the route we're gonna go.
So you're looking for another 30 days.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion if there's no further questions.
So the violation is just, is just for permits, right?
Yeah, it's just a permit. Well, just permits. And as you heard, he's.
If I recall
Sure.
correctly, no work was done.
No, we had baseboard dropped off. I talked to Sharon. I told her that, hey, we're trying to get a contractor and stuff, and we talked. And I
The
told her
material's been
full
delivered, but no
extension.
work has been performed.
We'd like some input from the city.
The city has no problem.
Thank you.
Sure, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 21-06306, I move to extend the compliance deadline until May 11th, 2022.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion carries. So you get another 30 days. Hopefully everything will be in order by then. Good luck. Okay, so back to the beginning.
Back to the beginning.
All right, so case 216768.
That's it. Case number 216768, City versus Colin Boss for the property located at 401 Bullard Parkway. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8, 102.13b, exterior walls maintained in good repair, and Section 8, 102.13c, roofs maintained in good repair, and 8, 102.14a-b, fences maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively December 8, 2021. My inspection at the time noted the exterior walls of the residence stained, along with dirty, damaged fascia, and the masonry block wall fence on the east side of the residence to be stained. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date December 31st, 2021. Posted the notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on March 28, 2022 noted the wall staining still present, along with the damaged fascia and blocked fence wall on the east side of the residence still stained. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence. I have 5 photographs, notice posted at the front door, the stained walls, blocked fence, and the damaged fascia.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
As of this time, the property has come into compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 216768, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 401 Bullard Parkway. Sections 8-102.13b, 8-102.13c, and 8-102.14a-b. This motion is based on the sworn testimony of this board as received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation. Fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of the hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second by Mr. Snelling. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Next case, please. Motion carried. Next case, please.
Next case, case number 216926, City versus Khalil Abu Ahmad for the property located at 11901 North 53rd Street. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8, 10213B, exterior walls, maintain in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively December the 16th, 2021. My inspection revealed exterior wall staining in front on the north side of the structure. At that time, I left a door hanger with the compliance date the 18th of January, 2022. My inspection on January 21st, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 23rd of February, 2022. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent first class and certified mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My inspection on March the 7th, 2022 revealed no change. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on February the 1st, 2022.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit 2 shows front north side wall stains. Exhibit 3 and 4 shows front wall stains or peeling paint. I did have contact with a resident mid-March. They asked for an extension until the end of March to bring the property into compliance. No other communication, sir. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll take this one. In case number 21-6926, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence that the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on the property located at 11901 North 53rd Street. And the violation is Section 8-10213B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violations be corrected on or before May 11th, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
The next case, case number 22244, City versus Brio Investments Corporation for the property located at 8517 Renaud Boulevard. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated January 14, 2022 from a community stop work order list requesting a notice of violation to be completed for work without permits at the residence. January 14th, 2022, I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of February 4th, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall. So mail copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. On March 16th, 2022, I noted no change, no permit had been pulled for the interior bath reno. This time I'd like to submit photos. Notice posted at the front door and the construction debris at the curb.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
As of today's date, the permit has been obtained and pulled. I'd like to submit a notice, an affidavit of compliance.
Thank you, we'll accept that. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you.
In case number 220244, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8517 Ronald Boulevard with the applicable code, section 8, subsection 28, subsection A, subsection 1, permit application required. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Jose Sullivan, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
The next case will be case number 22334, City versus Boston Market Real Estate Company for the property located at 5501 East Fowler Avenue. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 1034 sanitation, keep premises clean. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was originated by Director Baroni on January the 20th, 2022. My inspection revealed debris accumulation of a new drive-through menu board located at the rear of the store. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 4th of February 2022. My reinspection on February the 7th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of February 22nd, 2022. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to General Manager Sally Lajara. My inspection on the 10th of March 2022 revealed no change. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation that was taken by me on January 7th, 2022.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows the debris accumulation of the drive-through menu board at the rear of the store. My inspection today, Mr. Chairman, revealed the debris accumulation at the rear of the store has been removed. At this time, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance. I'm just looking for a finding.
Very good, thank you. We'll accept that. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right. You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. In case number 220334, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 5501 East Fowler Avenue, and the violation being section 1034. This motion is based on the sworn testimony of this board. This board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
The next case is case number 22635, City versus, and this is a repeat case, Fadi and Herbawi and Candy Almagath for the property located at 7932 Terrace Ridge Drive. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13B, exterior walls maintained in good repair, and Section 8-102-13C, roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case this evening is a repeat violation case which was presented by me at the MCB hearing on November the 14th, 2018, in case number 183772. The board found the respondent to be in violation. However, the property was brought into compliance prior to the hearing. On March 4th, 2022, my inspection once again noted that the exterior walls and fascia on the north side of the structure were stained with green and black mildew. A notice of repeat violation was prepared on March the 10th, 2022, and was hand-delivered to homeowner Candy Almaga. At this time, I would like to submit the MCEB order in case number 183772 and photographic evidence showing the exterior wall and fascia stains on the north side of the structure.
We'll accept that, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Mr. Chairman, at this time, sir, I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance. However, Exhibit 1 shows exterior wall stains that are on the north side. Exhibit 2 shows the fascia staining on the north side. I would like to submit an affidavit of compliance, sir. However, the site did remain out of compliance from March the 10th through April the 3rd, 2022, which would be a total of 25 days. At $30 a day, I am seeking a lump sum ruling of $750.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
how did you come up with a $30 per day number?
Sir, well, it's a repeat violation case. Normally on a repeat, because it's repeat, there's a little bit more, being that it's a repeat case versus a first-time offense.
Yeah.
I'm basing it on $30 a day, 25 times 30, sir, $750.
He just had stains on the wall.
And the fascia, sir. North side wall staining and fascia staining on the north side of the structure.
And to correct it, did he paint or pressure clean?
He pressure washed, sir. Like I said, I spoke to Candy, the lady there at the residence, and the day that I did the repeat violation, and stressed the importance of getting the violation corrected right away, as this would be a repeat violation case. And it took a little bit for them to get it done.
Is he a renter or?
No, sir, he is the property owner.
Property owner. And had the same violation before?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The previous violation was for what?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing, sir. Exterior wall stainings on the north side as well as the fascia.
The fascia, is that the roof violation? Let's see, the 13C over here, subsection 102, 13C, roofs maintained in good repair?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
That would
so
be
that's
the
the
fascia.
fascia. And I didn't really see anything on, can I take a look? Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So when we're talking about the fascia, okay, so they need to be clean as well. I see, okay.
I wanted to ask you again, I feel
Thank you.
like 700 is a lot.
Well, that's
what we're gonna.
That's what we decide.
Yeah, that's our decision. That's the recommendation of the city. Any other questions for the code officer? Keep in mind, it is a repeat violation. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
All right, I'll get the ball rolling here. Just. So in case number 22-1, oh wait, am I on the wrong one?
0635.
Yeah, 22-0635. I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code existed on a property located at 7932 Terrace Ridge Drive. Violations being section 8-102-13B, 8-102-13C. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the respondent be found to be a repeat violator as defined by City Code Section 1-63, but because the respondent has been found to have violated the same provision of the City Code within the previous 5 years, regardless of property address. I further move that a lump sum fine be assessed for the repeat violation from the time the notice of the repeat violation until the time the repeat violations have been corrected. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $100 total.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Okay. We have one more case under hearings. Case number 22-1067. City versus Rachel and Nicholas Drew Teeling for the property located at 716 Druid Hills Road. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13H. Windows and exterior doors maintain in good repair. Section 8-102-13B, exterior walls maintain in good repair. And Section 8-102-13C, roofs maintain in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Before I start, I just want to mention that Lori Smith's case at Boston Market. We used to pull up there by lunchtime, go into that menu board that was disconnected. I spent my whole lunchtime ordering my meal and it never got served. So, good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance.
Time to go to PDQ.
Yes. This case this evening originated on February 25th, 2022, when I received a phone call from a concerned neighbor about the overgrown conditions at this property. My visit on February 28th, 2022 noted overgrown weeds throughout the yard. At that time, I did leave a door hanger to the unoccupied home with a reinspection date of March 5th, 2022. I did reach out to Mr. Teeling on March 4th, 2022, and had a conversation about my findings. My inspection on the 11th of March noted the yard was mowed. However, the front window pane was missing, debris and vegetation on the lower roof shingles, and exterior brick wall had some staining. On that same day, I prepared a notice of violation with the compliance date of March 25th, 2022. I did post a notice at the front door on the 14th of March and requested the letter to be sent out certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My compliance inspection on the 31st of March noted no change. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on March 25th and April 1st, 2022. Exhibit number 1 shows the missing window pane in the front window. Exhibit number 2 shows the vegetation and debris on the lower roof shingles. And exhibit number 3 shows the staining on the exterior brick wall. I'd like to submit at this time.
Accept those. Thank you.
That was in my bag. Me too.
Any questions for the code officer?
It still remains out of compliance.
Very good. Thank you. Seeing no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do.
Thank you.
In case number 22-1067, I move the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 716 Druid Hill Road. Applicable code sections, Section 8, subsection 102-13H, Section 8-102-13B, and Section 8-102-13C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, along with any other evidence, including photos of affidavit and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the respondent to be sorry. Wrong. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before May 11, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine to be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Can we make it 50?
Well,
Well,
we have to do this.
we have to do that during the discussion phase. We gotta get a second before we can.
I'll second it just to.
Okay, so motion is second by Mr. Snelling. Any further discussion?
This is 3 violations, and I feel like 25 is very low for these.
Keep in mind, you just had a repeat that you just fined $100 flat. So.
Huh?
You just had a repeat violation on the last case, and all you fined them was.
Why would you, what makes you think that this is more severe that would warrant, as opposed, you know what I mean? Like, what about this one makes you think that it should warrant more?
This has got more.
I would like to see
according to the
could you
photos.
pass the paperwork along so we can see?
Like, is it missing the window?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The window pane is missing.
Okay, so that's a concern. I mean, obviously, that's,
It's still missing, right?
Seems to me, the other one was, pressure cleaning, little paint will solve the problem, and this one is
Well,
is really.
it's not the little, they didn't do it. That's the problem. They didn't do it. It's not the little bit here, a little bit there, or a wall. The violations are essentially the same on both of these
The
cases.
other one I wanted 300, like half of what, but
Yeah.
when,
said something.
when,
You said something.
oh,
I'd have gone with
I
you.
just threw that number out. Go back.
That's why we have discussion periods,
yeah, well,
so. And it's up to the motion maker to amend, so.
I would like to hear from the rest of you.
I'm gonna agree with what Rod said. I think it should be at least $50. I mean, I think our standard is that we give more than $25 for multiple violations. My personal opinion is the violations are a little more egregious than the one we looked at for the repeat violation. That's.
when the home was unoccupied, right?
Yes.
I mean, so it's unoccupied and it's essentially open. I mean, that welcomes, as the insurance person in me is saying, that welcomes vandalism and malicious mischief and all of the things that come along with that.
Waters.
I mean, it brings, it just welcomes that. Let's not even talk about the animals and the mildew and the mold and whatever. So, I mean, I'm okay with going to 50 as well.
Okay. All right, I'll amend my motion to move that the fine be $50 per day.
Do we have an amended motion? Will the person that seconded the original motion second the amended motion?
I second the amended motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. That concludes our new cases. We're now on to unfinished business.
Okay. So, unfinished, case number 215710. City versus 12260 Group LLC for the property located at 12260 Morse Bridge Road. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Smith dated April 6, 2022 for section 81665A. And then, case number 212827, City versus Robert Lawrence for the property located at 8610 Oleander Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight, and Officer Smith, has an update.
Good evening again, sir, and board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This was an email that was sent, but I would like to read it, or I can submit it, sir, whatever you'd like.
Do both.
Okay, sir. This is, Dear Director Baroni, I'm writing about resolving the violation at 8610 Oleander Drive. My contractor's engineer has agreed to draw up the necessary plans to resolve the permit violation, but his plan would involve destroying the current structure, which was built by my contractor at a cost to me of just under $5,000. The engineer's plan is to tear off the wooden deck, which is an exact copy of which has been there for 30 years, and resurface the roof with material that would take foot traffic. This approach is the only solution. I will proceed with that plan. However, a number of people have told me it is possible that another engineer could draw up the plans that would preserve the existing deck with possible minor modifications to the supporting structure, and this way avoid destroying the new wooden deck. This would save significant cost and also ensure preserving the architectural design of the house as I bought it in 2001. To pursue this plan, I've been traveling for several weeks to set up appointments with structural engineers, but due to the backlogs and overheated building industry, I would not be able to meet the board's deadline for compliance of April the 13th, 2022. My efforts in this matter are further complicated due to the fact that I'm once again, out of the country. However, I have airfare booked for a return trip of 2 weeks in Temple Terrace beginning on April the 24th. This schedule will allow me to attend the May meeting of the board. For this reason, I respectfully request an extension of the compliance deadline for another month. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Robert Lawrence.
This would be the first extension, right?
No, sir, this is the second one.
Second one.
He was here on the last code board, sir, and then,
This is the guy with the elevated deck?
Yes, sir.
Second-story deck?
First extension.
Yeah, first extension.
He was just here for his case to be heard originally.
Yeah, so he was here last month, and we gave him 30 days, and now he's asking for his first extension. That's what I thought, yeah, okay. So what's the board's pleasure? I'll entertain a motion, unless there's other questions.
go ahead and submit, sir.
Yes, please.
Just want to hear from Code Director Baroni what the city's feelings are.
Being that he's out of the country, I don't have a problem with extending the 30 days. I have a feeling he's going to be back here in May, asking for another extension.
Probably, yeah.
But we'll worry about that when the time comes.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that one.
Thank you.
In case number 21, 28, 27, City versus Robert Lawrence, for the violation, I move to extend the deadline till May 11th, 2022.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries.
Next case, case number 216307, City versus Alberto M. Barban for the property located at 5415 Rainbow Drive. Deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 216311, City versus ARVM 5 LLC for the property located at 827 East River Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva dated March 28th, 2022 for Section 828A1. Case number 216447, City versus Craig Brunstein for the property located at 418 Ferncliff Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva dated March 16th, 2022 for Section 810214A. Case number 210203, City versus Ron Mogerman, TT Holdings, LLC for the property located at 12909 North 56th Street. Deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 220467, City versus Sway, 2014 1 Bar LLC for the property located at 207 Woodbine Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 810213B dated March 11th, 2022. And then case number 210580, City versus Progress Tampa 1 LLC for the property located at 7815 Capwood Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, we have the liens list review.
I am ready.
Okay. Okay, so cases in compliance, we have one in full compliance, and that is case number 215354, City versus Peninsula Holding Group LLC, 533 Broxburn Avenue. That is in compliance. And then we have a case that is in partial compliance, Case number 210070, City versus A&T Hospitality LLC, 13294 Telecom Drive. That is in compliance for section 81661C. And then it is also still out of compliance on the remaining section.
Okay.
And then
For the parking lot.
the parking is out of compliance still.
Okay. I saw, just FYI,
It's the roof that is in compliance.
Yep.
Yes.
'cause I happened to be at the coffee shop by there on Saturday, and they're working on it. I mean, it's almost done, the parking lot area, so.
Wow.
And then the next one is also in partial compliance. This is case number 172613, City versus Dudley Black, 9408 Hidden Ridge Place. It's in compliance for the 103B, the grass and weeds. It is out of compliance on the remaining sections.
I'm sorry, which case was that?
Dudley Black, the second one, 172613.
The 242,000 one, right?
Yes.
Only.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then, so we have remaining non-compliance for the following. Case number 080292, City versus Christopher York, 7604 Leon Avenue. Case number 162397, City versus Dudley Black, 9408 Hidden Ridge Place. Case number 172746, James Stevens Johnson and Glenda Johnson, 104 Holland Avenue. Case number 194940, City versus Robert and Lisa McNeil, 9406 Hidden Ridge Place. Case number 201531, City versus Vincent and Cynthia Adkins, 5513 Temple Heights Road. Case number 21604, Anthony and Jillian Moore, 941 North River Hills Avenue. Case number 21. I already did that one. Case number 210786, City versus James and Joyce A.G. Evans, 11305 East Queensway Drive. Case number 211177, City versus Nicholas Drew Teeling and Rachel Teeling, 716 Druid Hills Road. Case number 213728, Craig Brunstein, 418 Ferncliff Avenue. Case number 213797, City versus John Ziegler, 306 South Burlingame Avenue. Case number 214324, City versus JR Premier Properties, LLC, 608 Courtney Drive. Case number 214950, City versus Point Plaza Lot 3, LLC, 8710 Harney Road. Case number 215699, City versus Mark T. Harrison and Lori R. Harrison, 305 Bannockburn Avenue. Case number 216402, City versus True Capital Group LLC, 105 Deer Park Avenue.
Very good, thank you. Any new business?
I just wanted to ask, just to make sure we didn't miss something, I had an extra notice of violation in my packet.
Yes, we updated the agenda on yesterday morning, and that case was removed.
Okay.
So, you or Ernie want to say anything about the forms you left?
Yes, so there is a code of conduct. It's a revised code of conduct. Originally, when most of you applied, it should have been on the board application. Like when you submitted it, it would have been at the end. We've just updated it recently, and we're having all the board members for all the boards sign it. So if you could sign it and hand it in to me, turn it in to me, that would be great.
Even though there's no place for a date, put the date next to your signature.
A date if you can, yes.
Huh? Oh, yeah. So, any other new business? We have one item, we have a new alternate, Gina. Do you want to say anything now that you're here and got to sit through your first meeting?
Oh, good to be here.
Good to have you.
A little weird, but I'll get used to it.
Yeah. Gina's actually an alternate, but since we had one member not show up, she got thrust into the mix early. So, welcome and thank you. Anybody else have anything new? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Motion is adjourned. Thank you very much.